Hello everyone, myself Amok Sasrabudhe. I will be coaching you in 2D sketching and 3D part designing and assembly in SolidWorks. So let's get started. So in this video, I am going to concentrate on basic 2D drawing and interface of SolidWorks. So when you start the SolidWorks, this screen you will see there are three options given in welcome window: part, assembly, and drawing. So today we are going to select part. So when this you select part, this page is this interface come on screen. So basically on the right bottom corner, we from there we can select the units in which we are going to sketch or construct our component. So here are four options given: MKS, CGS, MMGS, and IPS. So most of the time we select MGS, that is millimeter, gram, and second. So in the left corner you will see the design tree. So in design trees basically shows every step you have taken during the construction or designing your part. So here for sketching we have three options: front plane, top plane, and right plane. So we can sketch any part we want. I'm selecting front plane. So entering in front plane for sketch, there are two options. First you right click on front plane, and first icon you see, that is sketch. So you entered in sketch mode. Or other option is just select the plane and go to sketch option and sketch. So when you see these two arrows, that is sign of you entered in sketch mode. So first tool in sketch mode is smart dimension. I will talk about that later. So first tool is line. So in line we have three types of lines. First is simple line. So we just select starting and ending point of it, and line gets constructed. Another type of line is center line. This line we use as a reference for any drawing or mirroring. uh, so this is the second type, and the third type is midpoint line. So for constructing this line, we select midpoint of the line, and as I'm going to left or right, this line will also for example, I'm going to left side of the screen. So also on right side symmetrically the line will grow. So next tool is circle. In circle we have two options: center point circle and perimeter circle. In simple circle we have to select first center point of the circle and any point of the perimeter of circle. So as you can see, the circle is created. Perimeter circle, in this we select three random points on the perimeter of that circle. We hardly use this tool. We most of the time use normal circle. So third option is rectangle. So when you click on rectangle, you get five options. First is corner rectangle. In this we select two corners of opposite corners of rectangle. As you can see, the rectangle is. Second option you see is center rectangle. In this we select the center of rectangle and any corner point on any corner point. So as you can see, the rectangle is constructed. So third type of rectangle is three point rectangle. In three point rectangle we basically select three points on the three corner points of the rectangle. So as you can see, I'm selecting third point, so rectangle is generated. Okay, so this option of rectangle we only use most of the time. So next is curve. So arc. In arc, first option is center point arc. So in this we select the center point of the arc, and then we select first point on the perimeter and second point on the perimeter. The second option in arc is tangent arc. So for tangent arc we firstly need a basic construction, any you want. So I am selecting this point and this point. So I'm selecting tangent arc, and firstly I'm selecting this one and then this one. So as you can see, this is the symbol of tangent arc, tangent. So this arc is tangent to this side and this side. So then ellipse. In ellipse, we first select center point of the ellipse, then we select major radius, and then we select minor radius. So ellipse is constructed. Next is slot. In slot, first option is straight slot. In this, we select 2 points, and then we can select the uh, perimeter point on the slot. The another type is 3 point arc slot. In this, we select 3 points, and around this we can uh, design slot. So this dotted line is basically the center line of this arc. Then the last option is polygon. In polygon, we can select as many sides as we want. So I'm firstly selecting 6 sides. So if you want to change the number of sides, here you can simply change. I am now selecting 8 sides. So as you can see, 8 sides are generated. So next option is fillet. Fillet is basically smoothing the corner points. For example, I am constructing this rectangle, and I want this point smooth, or say I don't want the pointed end. So I'm selecting fillet, and then I have to select two lines on which I want fillet. So first I select this point line and this line. So here I can uh, state the radius of the fillet curve. So as I'm selecting 20 mm. So as you can see, fillet curve is now bigger now. For example, now I'm selecting 30 mm, and as I click on OK, you can see automatically it get dimension, and the point is gone. So now I'm explaining smart dimension. Smart dimension is basically software automatically selects the type of dimension you want. As you can see, I'm selecting vertical line, so automatically software has selected vertical dimension. Now I'm selecting the horizontal line. Now automatically software selects the horizontal distance. When you just click first time, you can see this box coming. So here you can modify the dimension as you want. So I want this 200 mm. So I just type 200 and enter. You can see the line got bigger. So there are and when I'm selecting cross points, as you can see, software automatically selects inclined distance. So I don't want inclined, I just want horizontal or vertical. So if I drag it down, it will change into horizontal, and if I drag to side, it will change in vertical. So when you see this error, yellow type of error, this means you already dimension that uh, length or that height, so you don't need another one. So this figure is seeing we can see this figure is in blue color. That means it is under constraint. You can see in here it states under constraint diagram. So we have to constraint it. So if you want to constraint any drawing or sketch, you just have have to mention each curve's relation with the origin of the plane. So here I am setting distance of that line from the origin. So you can see this line went blank in black in color. So black color means it is fully defined. So I'm selecting now this line and center point. As you can see, full diagram went in black color. So our sketch is fully defined. So when you are completing any sketch, you should check that your sketch must be fully defined, or else some errors will come. I will show you. So these two lines are blue lines, so they are under constraint. So as I select this line and drag it, it is moving, so we don't want that. So I am just defining the dimension. So now you can see full black diagram. So now now if I drag any side, it is not moving. So you in this corner you can select fully defined sketch. So this sketch is fully defined now. So next tool which we have, it is mirror. So for mirror, we need center line. So say I am constructing center line. So this is the center line I want. So I just select here one rectangle, sketch one rectangle here. So I want this rectangle mirrored about this line. So I'm selecting mirror entities. So first you have to select entities which you want to mirror. So I'm just selecting this whole rectangle, and then option is mirror about, that is you have to select the axis. So in axis I'm selecting this axis. So as you can see, the yellow is preview. So as soon as I click on OK option, you can see the sketch is constructed. So yellow is preview for you to decide right you mirror right or wrong. So this is, then another tool is sketch pattern. So there are two types of pattern, linear pattern and circular pattern. First I will show you linear pattern. So simply I am constructing one line, and now I am selecting linear sketch pattern. So you have to select first about what axis you want the pattern. So here by default x axis, and then you need to entities to pattern. Here you select which entity you want to pattern, and you can define here distance between two entities. So as I select 200 mm, as you can see the distance between line is 200 mm. Now this yellow line is preview. So I'm selecting 10 mm. Now you can also define the number of lines you want. So say I want 10 lines. So you can see 10 lines are previewing us 10 lines. So I want angles, say 45-degree angle with x axis. So as you can see, they are constructed on 45-degree line on with respect to x axis. So second pattern is circular pattern. So I just dimension it, say 200 mm. So I am selecting creating another circle. So I want this circle for whole perimeter, whole part of circle. Like I want 8 smaller circles with equidistant. So I am selecting circular sketch pattern. So first of all you have to select point around which you want pattern. So I want around center. So you can see 4 circles are generated here. You can select how much degree you want this pattern. So as I say 180 degree, so circles are generated up to 180 degree. For this time I am selecting 360 degree. So here you can see say that equally spacing. If I uncheck this option, the circles will not be equally spaced. Now I am selecting equally spacing. Dimension radius, we never select this. So here we take the number of circles we want. As say I am selecting 8 number of circles. As I hit enter, you can see preview of 8 circles here. So as I am selecting OK, you can see 8 circles are generated. So another option is offset entities. In offset entities, in some cases you want same sketch but on different scale, or say offset from original sketch. So you just select those entities you want to offset. Say I want to offset this bigger circle. So as you can see, far from this original sketch, away from this 10 mm, at 10 mm distance, you can see another one circle. So as I say, I want it on 20 mm or say 25 mm. So you can see, sorry, 25 mm, you can see on 25 mm distance the another circle is generated. If I check the box reverse, then you can see the circle which was firstly outside of the original sketch, this is now inside of the original sketch. So I'm selecting outside, and as soon as I see OK, you can see another sketch is generated. So another option is trim. So say I am constructing these 2 lines randomly on the circle, and I am selecting trim. So most of the time we use power trim. So just I want to hold the left click button, and as I drag, the middle point between 2 lines is gone, then this point is gone, this point is gone. Now I want this circle to be gone, this circle is gone. So whichever part you want to trim, you can just hold the left click and press it, and you can see it is trimming area I want. So I want this excess area to be gone, so it is gone. So this is trim mode. So next point I want to highlight is another type of we can say cutting corner or cutting pointed end is first of all we know first type is giving fillet, another type is giving chamfer. So for selecting chamfer, you first go on this icon, this is fillets icon. So you click on this arrow. So you second option you get is sketch chamfer. So first of all we need some geometry. So just I am creating simple rectangle. Okay, so now I am selecting chamfer. So in chamfer you here this in here you get specific options for editing the chamfer or giving specific length to chamfer. So here default there is 10 mm. So just I am selecting the sides on which I want chamfer. So I want chamfer in this corner, so I am selecting this line and this line. So you can see chamfer is automatically generated. So here I have selected distance chamfer. So another mode is angle distance. In this mode, so in angle distance mode, you select one distance and one angle. So here I am suppose selecting 60 degree. So you can see 10 mm from the point, and at that point 60 degree angle is generated and the chamfer is created. So another important point is placing point on any line or any curve. So I'm just simply constructing one line, and on the right side of the chamfer icon you can select point icon. So you just click on that and you can insert point on this line or on the midpoint of the line or endpoint or anywhere on the line. So I am suppose I want to place point on the midpoint of this line, so I am just clicking on the midpoint, and as you can see the point is placed. So the next important point which I want to cover in this video is giving relations to our sketch or geometry that we have constructed in 2D. So I am just selecting front plane. So this arrow shows the point of this is the origin of the plane. So I suggest to whenever you start the drawing, you just select the suppose there is a circle in your drawing. So circle is at the top end of the drawing, so you just select the circle and make construct the circle using this as a center point of that circle. So because when we are fully defining our sketch, we have to give distance or relation of every line or curve from origin. So it will be easy for you to just including the origin in your drawing as end point of drawing or starting point of drawing. I will explain that later when I'm going to show you one example of 2D sketching. So another important point is giving relations or constraint between our sketches. So I am just selecting drawing two lines randomly. So I have drawn this line. So there are three types of basic constraints, or we can say relations. These are horizontal, vertical and parallel. So when you want to select one or two geometries or one or two line or one line one curve, you just select the first curve, then press Ctrl and hold it and select another one. So this way you can select multiple curves in your drawing. So here we can see relations. There are various types of relation. So if firstly I am going to select the only one line. So if I press horizontal relation, you can see that the line is now horizontal, that is parallel to x-axis. So if I drag this line, you can see it can only move in vertical direction, it cannot move in horizontal direction. So it is fixed with x parallel to x-axis or horizontal. So if I give vertical, so you can see now this line is parallel to y-axis, and if I click it and drag it, it will only move in x direction, that is in horizontal direction. I cannot move in vertical direction, or I cannot make an angle with any. I can change its length, but I cannot make the line inclined to y-axis. So this will line always remain vertical. So if I'm going to select two lines, so I'm selecting these both lines. So if I select parallel, so you can see these both lines are now parallel to each other. So if I select only one line from these two and try to drag it, You can see they can move anywhere, but they are always parallel to each other. When I'm moving one line, the second line is automatically moving. So again, if I select two lines and make it perpendicular, so you can see these both lines are perpendicular to each other. If I click one of them and try to drag it, both lines are moving and they will remain always perpendicular to each other. So if I select one endpoint of this line and another, or and selecting whole line, I'm getting the two main relations, midpoint and coincident. If I select on midpoint, you can see this line, this point of the line is now at midpoint of the second line. So if I drag this line, you can see the another line, another point on the line is always on midpoint of this line. Now I am selecting the coincident. So you can see this line and this point is now coincident. That is, if I extend this line in this direction, you can see it will intersect this point. So they are coincident. So now for other relations, I am simply going to construct one circle. So if I select this circle and this line, I am getting these two relations, that is tangent and equal curve length. If I select tangent, this line is now tangent to the circle. If I try to move this line, the circle is also moving, and if I try to decrease the length of this line, you can see the line will always be tangent to the circle. Another relation which I will see this, that is equal curve length. So when I am going to click equal curve length, the perimeter of circle and the length of line will be equal. So just we can say that if I cut this circle and straighten it out, it will have same length as this line. So another important relation is between two lines. So I'm just sketching another line. So when I'm going to select these two lines, you can see equal. So equal, if I press equal, you can simply see that these both line have same length, or we can say they are equal in length. So for your understanding, I am just giving dimensions. So as you can see, both line have exactly same length. So another relation is collinear. So if I press collinear, you can see the both lines are collinear to each other, that is they are exact same line. If I extend another second line in another direction, so you can see that they are in the same, they lie on the same line. So for your better understanding, I am going to sketch a component which you can see on the right side of the screen. So first of all, there is no specified or fixed way to draw a sketch. You can draw a simple sketch using various methods or multiple methods. So I'm just sketching this component for you to understand the relations or the geometries we just learned in this video and how to use them properly. So let's start. So first of all, I'm going to construct a circle, as you can see in the bottom of the component. So given that the diameter of circle is 55, so I'm just giving the dimension 55. So another circle is there with diameter 38. So as you can see in the drawing, the inner circle which have diameter 38 is dotted. So just click on the circle, and here in the options just click on for construction. So you can see the circle is now dotted. So circle is now dotted. Then another inner circle is there with radius 10 mm. So we are just giving dimensions 20 mm. Now I want 4 holes on the 38 diameter circle. So first of all, I am going to construct a one single circle. Given that the diameter of circle is 12 mm. Now I am going to select circular sketch pattern. So here around which point I want, so I want around origin, and here entities to pattern I am going to select this circle. So as you can see, the circle's preview is software is showing us preview. So I am just clicking on OK. So 4 circles are created. Now I am going to construct a center line. Which will be vertical. So another circle on the top of the component which have radius 20 mm. So 40 mm diameter. Now there is another inner one which have diameter 30 mm. So as you can see in sketch, the outer circle is in relation tangent to the center line which I have just sketched. So I am going to select this circle and this center line and click on tangent. So as you can see, the circle moved towards the line, and the circle is now in tangent relationship with the line. So another thing you can see that the distance between the center of these two circles is 100 mm. So I am just selecting both centers and 100 mm. Now another circle is there. These both circles are same. So I am just sketching another circle, and I am going to select this outer circle and this, and giving relation equal. Now I am going to sketch another inner circle, and I am going to select this inner circle and this and give them relation equal. I am giving dimension. So as you can see, the distance between centers of the both circle is 45 plus 20, that is 65. So I am just going to give distance between two center points. 65. So as you can see, the curve joining this circle and bottom circle. So I am going to select just 3-point arc, and I am going to first click first point randomly. This is second point and this third point. So I am going to select this curve and this circle and give relation tangent, and this circle and this curve and going to give relation tangent. So now the given that radius of circle is 98, so 98. Now I have another curve here with radius 20 mm. So again I'm going to select 3-point arc. First point is here, second point is here, and third point is here. First of all, I'm going to select this circle and this curve. I'm going to give relation tangent. Same with another circle. Tangent. So I'm going to define the radius, which is 20. So now I have another curve here joining these two circles. So actually that is line, so I am just randomly constructing a line. So automatically you can see that the tangent relation is established. So so our sketch is complete, but as you can see, this circle and curve is blue, so it is underdefined. So to check that, I'm just clicking on this curve and try to move it. So as you can see, it is moving like this. So I need to fix this center point. So I'm going to select this center and this center and just giving relation horizontal. So as you can see, they are both in same line, or they lie on same imaginary line. So our sketch is complete. So I hope you understand the all relations and geometries and how to construct and how to use mirror, linear sketch pattern, circular sketch pattern. So practice as much sketches you can. So this is it for this video. In the next video I am going to explain you the features. Features will help you to convert your 2D sketch into 3D component. So thank you guys.